Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Alessandro and this video is a part of a monthly series where I talk about the evolution of my net worth and investment portfolio. I openly share what I invest in, which platforms I use and how much my net worth has grown or decreased. Last month went really well as my net worth increased by about 13,000 euros. This is only the second episode of this series because I've just recently started, but I'll try to stay consistent and post a new video at the end of each month. For this episode, for example, I'll discuss my financial situation at the end of January 2025. To give you a bit of context, I'm an entrepreneur and I work online. I'm also an Italian living in Poland, so I talk about investments from the perspective of a European investor who primarily invests in euros, not in dollars. My goal is to achieve financial independence, meaning being able to live entirely off my investments. And if you want to follow my FIRE journey, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any future updates. And don't forget to leave a like for the algorithm. That said, we are ready to get started. If you watched the previous video in this series, you'll know that my net worth at the end of December 2024 was 515,743 euros. By the end of January, it has reached 528,850 euros, making an increase of more than 13,000 euros. And this result was driven mainly by three factors. The first is the money I managed to save. My income was 3,000 euros, which is the fixed amount I pay myself from my business every month. However, I spent just 1,100 euros, achieving a saving rate of 62%. The second factor was the performance of the financial markets. Last month, gold and Bitcoin saw significant growth, and the stock market also performed fairly well. Overall, my investments generated a return of around 8,000 euros. February already started with some volatility, as you might have noticed, but the figures I'm discussing here are based on January 31st, 2025. The third factor was the strengthening of the Polish zloty. Since part of my net worth is in zloty as I live in Poland, fluctuations of this currency have a considerable impact on the variations of my net worth, as my primary reference currency is the euro. Okay, now we are ready to see my net worth evolution, and to do it, let's break it down by asset class. Cash increased from 28,000 to 29,000 euros. Bonds grew from a total value of 164,000 to 167,000 euros. Stocks went from 108,000 to almost 112,000 euros. Peer-to-peer lending increased slightly from 8,000 to 8,100 and something. Gold rose from 21,600 euros to 25,500 euros. The value of my apartment in Warsaw, since it's priced in Polish zloty, it also increased in euro terms due to the strengthening of the Polish zloty. However, this is a natural fluctuation that happens every month, or in positive or in negative, so I don't give it much importance. Cryptocurrencies went up from 16,200 to 16,900 euros. Lastly, there was a small increase in my mixed stock bond accounts, with the total rising from 5,800 to 6,000 euros. Now let's take a quick look at the platforms I use. The brokers where I hold the majority of my investments are DEGIRO and XTB, two European brokers that I'm very happy with. Then there is PKO Bank Polski, which is where I keep Polish government bonds, and just this. Aside from these accounts, I have many other accounts and platforms where I hold cash or investments. And at the moment I start to feel like I have too many accounts and financial instruments, so in the future I'd like to simplify things a little bit. Because having too many brokers or bank accounts, for example, just gives you additional stress and complicates things. I guess in the next episodes we'll see what I finally decide about it. Now let's take a look at my FIRE progress. Currently my investment portfolio amounts to 333,525 euros. I calculate this by subtracting all non-income generating assets from my net worth. With this amount, I could secure a monthly income of 973 euros, using a safe withdrawal rate of 3.5%. Since my goal is to fund a monthly expenses of 2,000 euros with my investments, I'm still quite far from my target. Right now I'm at 48.64%. and last month I was at 47.23%. So there's a little bit of progress and I'm happy with that. Now let's check my asset allocation, which hasn't changed much compared to last month. There's been a small increase in stocks, gold and cryptocurrencies as their market value went up, but overall the allocation remains roughly the same. In the future I'd like to increase my stock allocation to around 30% of my total net worth, but I will do it gradually. There is no rush. So my net worth continues to grow, and we'll see how it will evolve in the coming months. To stay updated, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you will know when new videos are out. Thank you for staying with me until the end, and I'll see you next time. Ciao!